two, one. Let's it start. All right. Another week, another Monday. Let's do our usual. Let's close our eyes. Let's get comfortable. Okay, whatever that means for you. You can legs out straight, legs crossed, whatever works. Let's take 3 deep breaths to settle in. So breathing in through the nose and sit up a little bit taller. And as you breathe out, let the shoulders sink down, relax. Okay, number 2, let's breathe in. And then long breath out, like you're blowing out a birthday cake with lots of candles. Last deep breath, breathing in through the nose. And then really sink down into your mat here as you breathe out. Okay. And resuming the normal breathing pattern. Let's do our standard, relaxing our whole body, top to bottom. So starting with the crown of your head, see if there's any wrinkles in your forehead, iron those out. Soften your eyelids, and your cheeks, and your jaw, your lips, your whole head. And then we're working our way through the neck and shoulders. Maybe get a couple shoulder rolls in one direction, then the other. Oof. And then breathing in through our arms all the way down to your wrists and palms. Just taking a moment to notice how your hands feel. And then back to our chest as it expands and contracts. Ooh. Same thing with our bellies. And then notice how your spine feels at the top, all the way down to the base. And then notice how your bottom glutes touch your mat. And then through our hamstrings and quads to our knees. And then wrapping around down through our shins and calves. And if you're sitting cross legs like me, notice your calves touch your feet. And then how your feet touch your mat. So really all the touch points on the ground. And then coming back to your breath. And I want you to sit here and notice where your breath feels strongest for you. Whether that's where the air hits your nostrils as you breathe in, or maybe how it's your chest expanding and contracting. All right, let's take one more deep breath into the nose and let's hold to the top. And I'll play the singing bowl. Let's exhale deeply and gently open up our eyes. Still enjoying the light, but noticing that it gets shorter and shorter. And let's twist clockwise. Oh. Okay, really turning the chin towards the right or towards your right shoulder. And push your right hand into your, or left hand into your right knee, excuse me. Okay, and let's connect the breath with the movement. Every time you breathe out, push a little bit more. And then let's twist back to the front. Let's press the right hand into the left knee and push into the ground with the left hand or left fingertips. Turning the chin towards the left shoulder now. Let's gently unwind back to center. And then let's get a sitting side stretch. So let's look up, reach both arms up. Let's start on the left. So left palm is planted, right arm goes over your body. As we look up and reach for the upper left hand corner of the room and let the whole right side of your body get long and stretch. Yeah, like you're trying to reach for a dollar. Someone's got it just in front of you. Ooh. Let's lift the left hand back up top and come down on the right. And let's do the same thing for the left side of our body. Okay, the whole left side gets long as you reach the left fingertips. Ooh. And give yourself one last reach. And let's lift the right hand back up to the top. Then hands come back to center. And then we're gonna get our necks. Let's sit on the right fingertips. Okay. Gently pulling your head over to the left. And the whole point of sitting on those right fingertips is to remind your right shoulder to drop down. Okay, and then at your own pace, rotate your head back and forth and find really whatever spot feels best for you. Or you can just keep on oscillating forward and back. Oof. And we'll gently release the head and switch hands. We're sitting on our left fingertips. Right hand reaches over your head and pulls. Okay. Evening out our necks. Stretch anyways. Okay, same thing, finding that spot that really feels best for you. All right, let's release both hands. Let's get a cobbler pose and then we'll stand up. So feet or soles of the feet together in front. Okay, pull your heels in, let the knees drop. Okay, deep breath in. And then exhale forward. Pull yourself towards your feet. And relax the legs every time you breathe out. And then let's round out our backs if you haven't already. Okay, sliding my fingertips on the floor, like we're reaching towards each other. All right. Oh, that's about good for the inner thighs. We're gonna bring the knees together and let's stand up. Let's let's get those hamstrings. Oh, All right. Nice wide stance. Toes facing forward. Let's look up and reach up to start. Gentle breath in and exhale forward. Okay, legs are straight. Maybe fingertips on the ground. Starting to warm up our hamstrings. All right, let's fold our arms just gently and rock side to side. Ooh, ooh. All right, let's dig a little deeper. Let's clasp our fingertips behind us. Okay, let it grab you, do the work even more. Okay, reach those hands up towards the ceiling and towards the front of the room, looking back behind you. Okay, feet are really planted. Ooh, and the hamstrings are starting to feel it. And then release the hands, planting the right palm on the floor. Okay, really push that palm to the floor and reach for the ceiling with the left fingertips. Okay, nice vertical line with the arms, turning the chin and eyes up towards the ceiling. Kind of a neck stretch while we're at it. Oof. And we're still breathing. And then let's exhale that left arm down. Swap palms. Okay, left palm is on the ground. Right fingertips reach up. Let's exhale that right arm back down. Ooh, all right. And let's do a slow 10 count to straighten up our body. So let the head and arms dangle down. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's do some shoulders and triceps. I'm going to stay in this position because it feels good for me, but feel free to bring your legs together. Yeah, let it out that nice super yawn. All right, left arm across the top of the chest. Pull on that left shoulder or go for the T-lock, whatever works. Both achieve the same thing. Give yourself one last little pull here. And then release the left arm, and then we'll get the right arm across the top. Ooh. And once again, pulling a little bit more. Feel the stretch. And then release the right arm. Let's get the left arm behind the head. Pull on the left elbow. Maybe get your head out of the way. All right, and then switch. Ugh. All right, let's release that right elbow. I'm gonna bring my legs together before we do another neck stretch. So I'm gonna grab my left wrist behind my back, drop the head to the right, like you're trying to touch your right ear to your right shoulder. And then as you exhale, see if you can relax your head even more. Let the stretch take over. Ooh. And then roll your head forward as you look down at the ground. And then tilting the head back as we look up. And then back to center. And then back up top. And then switch wrists. And now we're grabbing our right wrist behind our backs. Head drops to the other side. And let's tilt our heads back as we look up, feeling the front of our neck. Then rolling the head forward as we look down. Whew. All right, and then back to center and then back up top, releasing the right hand. Let's do a standing side stretch. So standing up nice and tall, looking up, arms reach up to the ceiling. Okay, and take a moment here. Let's reach up as high as we can. Ooh. And let's start by dropping the right arm down to the right side of our bodies. Kick out that left hip. Okay, turning the eyes upward. And just like the sitting version, long stretch. Feeling the stretch go down the left side of our body, all the way to the hip. And let's lift the right arm back up, dropping the left down. Okay. And then let's reach for 3, 2, 1. Yeah. And then left arm returns up. Hands come to heart center. We exhale. We'll keep our hands there as we transition straight into Malasana. So medium stance, medium width, and then gently drop yourself or lower yourself, I should say, down towards your mat. Let's stay here for a nice 10 count. So continue to lower yourself. You can push your knees a little more outward, a little more backwards for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, feeling it, 9, and 10. Oh, support yourself. Oh my goodness. Oh. And let's do a split leg hamstring stretch next. So standing lengthwise, my mat. I'm gonna start with my left leg in front, heels are in line, arms come up, gentle breath in, and then long breath as we swan dive forward. Okay, you can rest your hands on your leg, rest your fingertips on the ground, palms on the floor. Wherever you are, just drive that right hip forward towards the left ankle. Left leg is straight. And as you exhale, let that stretch take over. Ooh. Okay, hopefully that feels as good for you as it does for me. Let's bend the left knee. Gently lift up. Okay, switch legs. Ooh. All right, heels are in line. Right leg is in the front. Arms back up. We're exhaling down. All right, same thing here, but on the other side, drive the left hip towards the right ankle. Ooh. All right, give yourself one last little twist and bend the right knee and come on up. Oh, All right, let's come to the front of our mats, feet and legs together, standing up tall, arms and eyes come up. And then we're gonna swan dive down. Reach for the ground, reach for your toes, coming up to flat back. And then exhaling, rounding at the back, eyes up, reverse swan dive for one. Hands are at the top. We're gonna swan dive slowly back down. Ooh. Up to flat back once again. And then exhale, round at your back, reach for the ground even more. And then eyes up, reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. And then let's swan dive down for the third time. Hamstrings are beginning to open up here. Up to flat back. And then long exhale, round out the back, plant both palms. Let's step back into plank. Then chaturanga down to upward dog. Ooh. Back to plank, push up here. Come into the first downward dog of the day. Okay, hopefully those shoulder stretches at the beginning helped out here. Okay, push the floor away in front of you. Fingertips are spread nice and evenly. And feel those calves get long. And let's bend the left knee, focusing on just the right calf. And then switch, bending the right knee. I think I said right on the other side too. I meant bend the left knee, whatever. I think we know the drill. Okay, switch sides, bending the left knee, driving the right heel down. Okay, one more time, or actually two more times. Let's do three individual stretches for each side. So back to the right. All right, one more time on the left. And those shoulders are starting to feel a little on fire. Over to the right. We'll do a sun salutation after this to relieve the shoulders. So come to neutral downward dog. Both legs are straight. Let's walk the feet slowly towards the hands. Bring your feet together. Reverse swan dive. Back is strong. Arms are up top. Then we're going to swan dive down. Up to flat back. And then exhale, round out your back, plant both palms, stepping back to plank. And let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. Ooh, back to plank, push up here if you like. And into downward dog. Okay, let's do, before we do a crescent pose, let's do a runner stretch. And then one for our hips. So bring your feet and legs together. Float the right leg up into the air. And then swing the right leg through and plant it in front. Okay. And then we're just hovering over that right leg. It's our supporting leg. And fingertips barely touching the mat. And let's do a runner's pose. So plant the hands on the left side of the right foot. And see if you can lower yourself gently down towards your mat. Okay, that right hamstring should feel it. All right, from here, come back over that right leg and then gently lower the left knee. And then bring the arms and torso up. Okay, we're going to stretch our hips. So rotate. Ooh, does not take much movement. Rotate that hip, feel the left side. You can lift the left arm if we want to pull it from the top and the bottom. Okay, super duper option is take that left arm and reach it over your head towards the right. And we'll stay here for 3, 2, 1. Okay, lower that left arm, goes up in the air. Arms and torso come forward. Let's lift the left knee back up off the mat. We're in a low lunge. And from here, let's bring the arms and torso up. We're going to straighten a crescent pose. Okay. Front knee tracking over that front ankle. Left leg is straight. Reach for the ground with the left heel. Settle with your breath. Okay, arms come to heart center. And let's go into prayer twist. So left ankle, I'm sorry, left elbow is on the right knee. Remember to breathe. All right. And let's gently exit prayer twist on this side. Arms come back up for crescent pose. And then bring the arms and torso back down. Plant both palms. Right leg comes back to plank. And let's chaturanga down. Do an upward dog. Okay, sun salutation. Back to plank. Walk the feet towards the hands. And then reverse swan dive. Ooh. Arms at the top. Swan dive down. And the hamstrings are starting to feel really good now. Up to flat back. And then exhale, bring the hands back down towards the mat, stepping back to plank. Let's chaturanga down. Into an upward dog. Oof. Back to plank. Push up here if you're still with me. Into downward dog. All right, let's do that runner stretch to a hip stretch to a crescent pose in the left. So feet and legs together. Float the left leg up in the air momentarily. And then swing the left leg through and plant it in front. And let's hover over that left supporting leg, fingertips barely touching your mat. And then let's plant the palms on the right side of the left foot. On your instep. Lower your hips down. Feel that left hamstring stretch out even more. You can come down your elbows even better. Okay, if you can't. All right, back over that left supporting leg. And then drop the right knee down gently. And then arms come up. Oof. Okay, rotating that hip on the right side. And you might notice that one side is, I was going to say more tight, but we'll go with the positive. One side may feel better than the other. That's okay. The important part here is stretching out our hips. Oh. Give yourself one last deep exhale here. Let the stretch take over. Oh. Okay, arms and torso come forward. Let's lift the right knee off the mat. We're back in that low lunge. And then lift the arms back up for crescent pose. Okay, really reach for the mat with the right heel. And then bring the hands together at heart center and come into prayer twist on the left. Right elbow rests gently on the left knee. And let's stay here for 3, 2, 1. Arms come up. And then exhale, bring the hands back down to the mat, planting both palms. Left leg comes back to plank. And let's chaturanga down and do an upward dog. Okay, back to plank. Walk the feet towards the hands. And then reverse swan dive. Into the top. Ooh. Then let's exhale as we swan dive back down. Up to flat back. Ugh. And then exhaling, rounding at the back, planting both palms, stepping back into plank. Let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here. And we're back in downward dog. Woo. Give yourself one deep push. Push your chest towards your feet. And let's come into warrior one, huh? So let's bring the feet and legs together. We're back on the right. Float the right leg up in the air. And bring your knee to the nose once. Back up top with that right foot. And swing your right leg through and plant it in front. And as your arms come up, your left heel comes down for warrior one. Okay. Arms are parallel, no bend at the elbow. Palms face one another. That left leg is straight and strong. Right knee is tracking over the right ankle. Check yourself as needed. And then transition to warrior two. Arms front and back. Okay. Palms face the ground. Chin facing up. Your face is facing forward. And let's dip back into reverse warrior. Reach for the back of the room with that right hand. And then back to warrior two. Let's come into a triangle pose. So reach forward with your right hand. See how far you can go. When you can't go any further, drop that right hand down to the ground. Left hand reaches up to the ceiling. And let's do extended triangle pose if you want. So take that left hand reaching up from the ceiling and reach it towards the front of the mat or towards the front of the room, right over your head. Okay, and then reach that left hand back up top. I think we're going to skip the pretzel today. So let's pop back up into warrior two. Dip back into reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. And let's swing that left arm forward and up for warrior one. And as your arms come back down, that left heel pivots up. Plant both palms, right legs back to plank. Chaturanga down. And upward dog. Okay. Back to plank. Walk the feet towards the hands. And reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. Swan dive back down. Whew. Up to flat back. And let's exhale, planting both palms, stepping back to plank, chaturanga down, and upward dog. Back to plank, push up here on our way to downward dog. All right, feet together. Now on the left side, left leg goes up in the air. Then do one knee to nose. Back up top. Swing the left leg through. Okay, planting in front, come to warrior one. Arms are up, right heel's down. Make sure that front knee is tracking over the front ankle. Find your foundation. Settle with the breath. Eyes are forward. All right. Let's go arms front and back for warrior two. Settle with your breath even further. Let's dip back into reverse warrior. Careful not to put too much weight on that back leg. Okay, back to warrior two. Let's reach forward for that triangle pose. Reach, 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 reach. Left hand comes down the ground. Right arm reaches up. Okay, we're looking up. Try to touch your ceiling with those right fingertips. You know what I mean? Ooh. All right, right arm reaches forward for extended triangle pose. And then back up top. And 3, 2, 1. Hop back up in warrior 2. Dipping back into reverse warrior. Back to warrior 2. Ooh, that left quad. And then let's transition to warrior 1. And as your arms come down, that right heel comes up, plant both palms. Left leg goes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. Ooh. And then back to plank. And then transition into downward dog, shoulders cracking. Feels great. All right, chair pose is next. So look at that space in between your hands. All right, on 3. 1, 2, and 3. Let's walk the feet towards the hands. Bring your feet and legs together. Drop your bottom down. Arms come up. Okay, arms are straight, no bend at the elbow. Palms face one another. See how low you can go. Ugh. All right, let's straighten up our bodies. Okay, lift the heels off the mat. Reach for your ceiling. Working some of our favorite muscles, the calves. Ooh. Every time you breathe out, so you can get another millimeter of height out of your heels. Ooh. Okay, gentle breath in. And then exhale as you bring the heels down, hands come to heart center. And we're going to go into twisting chair pose on the left. Okay, right elbow rests on the left knee, hands are stacked. And then bend those knees. See how low you can go on this side. All right, and then back to center, and then reach back up as you lift those heels off the mat. Arms or fingertips reach up to the ceiling. Ooh, okay. Low stabilizer muscles. We're gonna stay here for 3, 2, 1. Heels down, hands to heart center. And let's round it out with a twisting chair pose on the right. Okay. We push the hands together, right elbow faces the ceiling, and see how low you could go without tipping over, of course. Ooh. All right, back to center. Third time. Okay, really go for the gold here. Reach for the ceiling. Heels are off the mat. We're balancing on our toes, the balls of the feet. Ooh, ooh. We're doing long 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hands come to center. Let's do some tree pose, shall we? So let's get most of our weight on our left foot. Get your right foot into place, wherever works best for you. There we go. All right, standing up nice and tall, adding the arms as needed. Shall we do a 10 count for each side? Let's count down this time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, hang in there. 2, 1. As you exhale, let's bring that right foot out. Ooh. Shake out my left ankle. Let's see how even we are. So balancing on that right leg, left foot comes into position, stare at something stationary on your wall. Okay, adding the arms as needed. We'll repeat that 10 count. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's take that left leg out. Oh, shaking at the right ankle, then we're going to sit down. Oh, thank God. All right. Let's start with our classic table. I love a good table. All right. Feet are in front, palms are planted behind. Prop yourself up so your shoulders are over your wrists, knees are over your ankles. Okay, drop the head back, push the hips up. If you want the harder variation, we'll alternate it. Gently lift that left heel, kick out that left heel. Let's do 5 seconds for each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Left foot comes down, lifting the right. Okay, really pushing the hips up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right foot comes down, and then exhale as you bring yourself back down. Let's lie down on our backs. Okay, glute bridge. Oh, let's just take a second, just lie down here. That one-legged version is not exactly the easiest. Shaky. All right, glute bridge. Let's roll onto the shoulders. Okay, hips are back up towards the ceiling. Really push up, roll onto the shoulders. If you want the harder version, let's lift the right leg up, or actually just kick out the right heel, whatever works. If you're doing this variation, hello, left glute. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Leg down. Mentally getting ready. Let's get the other side, kicking out the left heel. Sorry, I forgot what it was called for a second. Push the hips up to the ceiling. Work that right side for 3, 2, 1. Okay, left leg down. Let's stay here for a couple moments in a neutral glute bridge. Don't let the knees bow out. Controlling our descent all the way down. Oh, okay. All right, let's do happy baby. We're going to stand our backs. So legs up in the air. Let's grab the outside parts of our feet. Okay, pull the knees down towards the underarms. And just take care of your spine here as you rotate or rock back and forth. Relax the breath. Ooh. Okay. And then you can release the feet and legs back down. Let's do a glute stretch. Let's do thread the needle. I'm going to start with my right, but doesn't matter which side you start on. I'm going to hit both. I'm going to grab my left shin or whew. Okay, right glute. All right, let's do 3 long breaths here as we usually do. So breathe in through your nose. And a long breath out. Okay, second breath, breathing into the nose and out to the mouth. One more time, breathe in. And long exhale. All right, Releasing that left shin. Right foot's planted. Left ankle's in place. Let's stretch out that left glute. So grabbing our right leg. Taking a deep breath into the nose. And then breathing out through the mouth. Second one, breathing in. And then long exhale. Okay, last time here. Breathe into the nose and out through the mouth. All right, let's release that right leg. We're gonna go to a supine twist. Move the bottom out of the way. Let's pull in our right leg. Ugh. Left leg is on the ground. And doing that little stretch here. And then let's pull our right leg over to the left side of our body. Right arm extends out to the right as we look towards the right. Okay. Try to touch your right knuckles and your right knee onto the ground. And your spine is twisting. And every time you exhale, relax the whole body. Find that extra degree, maybe even two of twisting. And we're going to take our time here. This one feels especially good and needed. All right, let's bring that right leg back to center. Let's hug in our left knee. Okay, enjoy that little stretch. And let's bring our left leg over the right side of our body. Left arm that extends out to the left. And every time you exhale, remember to relax and twist further. Okay. Let's bring that left leg back to center. Oh, let's just put our arms out and lie down. Not quite corpse pose, eyes remain open. Just sink down into your mat. Long breath in, long breaths out. All right. When you're ready, I'm going to sit up. Ooh. Ooh. Let's do a hamstring stretch, and then we're going to go into a cat-cow. And if we have a little time left, we can do some pigeon action. So I'm going to start with my left leg out in front. Bring in the right heel towards our soft tissue. Feet are flexed, or foot is flexed rather. Arms are up top. A little breath in. Exhale over the straight left leg. Reach evenly with your hands. Okay. And if your toes feel easy to reach, or slowly reach down to your heel. And maybe you're grabbing your shin. If you reach for your ankle, or I mean towards your foot, I should say. We'll stay here for 3, 2, 1. Oh, sitting up, switching legs. So the right leg is out front, bringing in our left heel. Okay, right foot is flexed, arms are up top. And then we're going to exhale over that straight right leg. Ugh. Feel that right hamstring stretch out. It actually feels pretty easy now that we've done a lot of moving options. And we're going to sit back up, keeping the right foot or right leg where it is. We're going to add the left leg. Okay. Quads, knees, shins, ankles, feet together, arms back up top. And then exhale gently forward. Feet are still flexed. See how far you can reach. Ooh. I'm gonna hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ugh. Sitting up. Oh, bending the legs. And let's do a cat cow, shall we? Ugh. Roll up my mat as usual. On my knees. Okay. Find yourself on all fours. Knees underneath the hips once again. Hands, palms planted underneath the shoulders. Let's do 5 breath cycles. So breathing in and head up. Breathing out, head down. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head down. Okay, arch your spine. Feel it relax in the other direction. Inhale, head up. And exhale, head back down. Okay. Inhale, head up. And exhale, head down. I think that's 3. Inhale, head up. Ooh. Exhale, head down. Okay, push the floor away. Push your palms into the floor. Okay. Inhale, head up. I think this is number 5. I lost count. That's okay. Oh. Okay, last time. Arching the back. Regardless of how many times, it always feels great. And then come to neutral spine. If you roll up your mat like me, unravel your mat. Okay, last stretch of the day. Let's do our pigeon pose. So find yourself in a plank position. I'm gonna start with my right leg. Okay, untuck the back toes. Right shin is 90 degrees from the rest of my body. Okay, just rocking yourself into position. We always do about 45 seconds here, so take your time finding it. And if you found it, just stay there and enjoy the stretch. All right, let's push our torsos up. Keep the right palm planted on the mat in front of you. Let's add a quad stretch before we exit the pose. So Reach back that left hand, pulling in our left foot. Oh, the low right quad. Okay, we'll stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. And bring your right leg back to plank. Left leg comes forward. Oh. Okay, untuck the right foot, right toes. Ooh. Okay, repeating those 45 seconds before we add the quad stretch. Yeah. Ooh. All right, let's plant both palms in front of us, pushing the torso up. Reach back with the right hand. We're pulling on that right foot. Oh. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release that right foot. Let's begin the closing sequence. So sit on your heels. Okay, knees as wide as your mat. And as you exhale deeply, come forward in the child's pose. And as we begin to relax our breath, getting ready to end today's practice, take this moment to thank your body for everything it's done, everything you ask it to do, and everything it's going to do. All right. And as you exhale deeply, come forward out of child's pose and rotate onto your back. Or corpse pose. And you can close your eyes or gaze softly upwards. Relax your arms at your sides. Give me a body scan. See how yours feels towards the end of this hour. All right. And we'll go for 60 seconds. I won't say a word, starting in 3, 2, 1. All right, that was about a minute. To reach your arms overhead. Point the toes at the bottom. Oh, give me a morning stretch. Mine was so real that I yawned. Ugh. Arching your back, groaning, whatever it is that you do. Ugh. All right, rolling onto your side. Take this moment for yourself. Whichever arm is on top, plant that palm in the mat and push yourself back up. Ugh. And return to a cross-legged position. All right. You can close your eyes if that feels good, or gaze softly in front of you. Sit up tall, plug the crown of your head into your ceiling. Let's breathe in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. All right. Number two, let's breathe into the nose and breathe out with some sound. Right, number three, breathing into the nose and breathe out with some sound. Bring our hands to namaste at our hearts. May you have clear and kind intentions. Let's raise our hands to our foreheads. May you have clear and kind thoughts. Let's lower our hands to our lips. May you have clear and kind communications. And then returning our hands to our hearts. And as always, the light in me celebrates and honors the light in you. Namaste, my friend. Thank you. Summer in San Francisco is here in full force.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the fog.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Especially further west.
Correct.
All right. Thank you,
All right,
Joseph.
then. Let's go get it. Another week.
Yes, another week. First full week of July.
Right. All righty.
Good one.
Oh, bye.
See ya. Bye.